Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to do a follow-up. This would be part 11, I believe, for the Angie Stone for her death, okay? Now, everything that comes through is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and it is all alleged. I want to jump right in because there's new information that has come through where finally some of the passengers in the van have spoken out, right? So one of the women, I believe her name is Sharita, has spoken out, and she has mentioned that when they were in commute, the driver, who is also known by Leethal, was the driver at that time. Sharita has said that during the commute, he was driving very fast, right? Driving erratically, and multiple people in the van was telling him to slow down. And his response to them was, I'm trying to hurry up and get home, or I'm trying to hurry up and get to whatever their location, their destination was. And she's saying that as a result of him driving recklessly, that's what caused the van to flip. Now, in the previous messages, it was very clear that this was done intentionally. And it showed that there was some chaos, some drama happening in the van prior to it flipping. It also showed, Sharita also said that Angie was also very concerned, and she was telling him that he needed to slow down. Now, I can only imagine that there was a lot more conversations and arguments that was being had, because apparently if you're telling someone constantly to slow down and they're saying, no, I'm not going to slow down because I got somewhere to be, you can only imagine the amount of drama that would have ensued as a result of that person's negligence, right? So there was a lot happening. I want to look into this person's energy. What were his motives? Okay? Because we have tapped in, but I don't know that I put specific emphasis on the driver. So let's see. What were Lethal's intentions? What role did he have in all of this? Because now there is a lawsuit that the passengers have placed against Leethal and his driving company, okay? They have placed a lawsuit for negligence. And so those documents are public record where you can go and pull them up. First card coming out, you see what that says, right? Serial K. Let's see. So he's done this before. Maybe not to this degree or in this way, but apparently he's done this before. Is he a hired hitman for the powers that were? Why is his name Leethal? Is that even his government name? Because if he changed his name to Leethal, then apparently there's a reason for that. Ego. He has something to prove. That's too many cards. Let's see. What was Lethal's intentions towards Angie Stone specifically? I have the card of party. Looks like whenever I see this card, it feels like someone who's high on something with all of these different images of the same person. It's like a blurry vision. Let me see. What were his intentions towards Angie Stone? I have aliens. So it's like she didn't even really know who he was. Let's just put it that way. That's what it's giving. You see, this person is driving in a car. These aliens are driving a car. He would have been the driver of the van. She had no idea who he was. Maybe she felt like she knew him based on who he used to be, but apparently he had turned into an outright serial K, and Angie had no idea. Let me see. His intentions towards her. I have spouse or partner. there are two people here in this picture. So some of you speculated that maybe the European woman that showed up on the scene had some sort of romantic dealings with the driver of Angie Stone's van, which will be Leethal. But let me just see, because I will be clarifying these cards. I have abuse or neglect. So obviously he was negligent in his driving, very abusive, right? With his mouth, it sounds like he had a very reckless mouth, the way that he spoke to her. I have devil. Yeah. He was an outright devil. Then I have body double. Body double. I'm not even sure what that means, but I'm getting ready to start clarifying these cards. I need to know, why is Serial K coming out as the first card for Leethal when it comes to his intentions towards Angie? So what's clarifying serial killer is paid under the table. So he's been paid to do this multiple times. Leethal has been paid under the table to do this multiple times. Okay, let's see what else is coming out. I want to clarify aliens. It was all about him. He didn't give a damn about nobody. He damn sure didn't care about Angie. The only thing he cared about was money. And as far as he was concerned, she couldn't pay him enough to not take advantage of whatever the powers that were was offering him to take her life. We're clarifying aliens. So I have facing jail time. You know what? I do feel like he might have been approached, because I heard that this man has been in and out of jail. He could have very well been approached. Maybe he was already facing jail time, or he had been approached when he was in jail and received some sort of pardon based on doing some underhanded things on behalf of the powers that were. Let's just see. Egotism. I'm going to clarify that. That just said crooked judge, but I'm going to pull the cards. Egotism. It's clarified by children. Oh, okay. He was peacocking in front of the children, trying to be something more than what he was. Okay. Something about wanting to show off, wanting to be bigger than what he was. And so he was ready to get paid under the table, because this would give him the right amount of money to flaunt, to buy particular things, to pretty much make himself, like I said, seem bigger than what he truly was. So he could have very well have been either facing jail time before he was approached by these beings to do this job, or they approached him when he was in jail to do this job. Either way, he was paid under the table. Now, the abuse or neglect. Let me see what this is saying. Abuse or neglect. Dark magic. Now, this did come out before, quite a few times actually. So he was doing spell work against Angie to keep her mouth shut, to keep her lips zipped. They didn't want Angie speaking out. So I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of red flags that she was picking up on, even prior to finding out about them withholding her royalties, right? There was a lot of mental and verbal abuse that was happening towards Angie by this particular cousin as well. Let me clarify spouse or partner. That's too many cards. Spouse or partner. So I have expect a message. So there was a message. I got false female friend at the bottom of the deck here. There was a message that came between Leethal and a spouse or a partner that he was connected to. There was a message. I want to know, what was this message? What was this message? Because from what I understand, I heard that after the van flipped, allegedly he walked away and made a phone call. Could that be the call that was made to ensure that the job would be finished with the tragic accident of the semi that came through? Clarify, expect a message. What was this message about? Between the spouse or partner. So I have slander. So that, remember, when we was doing the message about the European that showed up, it was showing that she came forward with a false report. That's what kept coming out. False report. That would be the slander, right? Let me see. What was this message about? This says in-laws. I wonder, bottom of the deck says, you were their sacrifice. Okay? Is this man married? Does anybody know? Does anybody have any more information about Leethal to know if he is legally married to someone? There's some sort of spouse or partner that he reached out to, whether it's his spouse or somebody else's spouse. There was communication that was had here where there was some lies that was being told. All right. I'm still trying to see what was said directly connected to Angie's death. Look at that. It says spouse or lover. I'm going to take all three. Paid a practitioner and imprisonment. Now, we already had the card of facing jail time. Okay? So, imprisonment, spouse or lover, and paid a practitioner. Now, a practitioner could be connected to this dark magic, or it could be a practitioner that would do the autopsy. Spouse or lover. There's something about a partner here for this to come out in two different decks right behind each other. He was communicating with someone here. They paid a practitioner. Karma returned. This man could end up going to jail. Okay? He could literally end up going to jail with facing jail time and imprisonment. So look out for it. Okay? This man could literally end up going to jail. Now, I don't know if it's going to be directly because of the serial K and the fact that he was paid under the table to do this and that he made phone calls and communicated with some folks knowing that there was manipulation of this situation, whoever this spouse or partner is, to slander and to tell lies about what really happened. Let me see if I can gather his direct connection to the European woman that showed up on the scene. I'm going to use a different deck. Does he know her? I believe they're saying her name might be Courtney, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all. If there's anything that you have to add to this, feel free to put it in the comments below. So the European woman that showed up on the scene, is there a direct link between her and the cousin who was driving the van by the name of Leethal? That's what I'm looking into. I have the Sun card here. That's a yes. The Sun card is a yes. What type of connection did they have? The Page of Wands. Five of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. So they was here to fight together, to bring drama and to cause chaos together. The Page of Wands is here. So that's some form of communication. Let me see. What is Leethal's connection to the European woman that showed up at the scene? The Moon. It was hidden though. But we have the Sun and the Moon. He tried to act like he doesn't know her, right? Like he's in the dark But the fact of the matter is, what's at the forefront is that, yes, they do know each other. There was some form of communication because he's reading the hieroglyphs, right? That's what he's reading here. The Page of Wands can deal with messages. We saw that there was some slander. It's like he reached out to her and told her, hey, come in. I'm going to need you to be an eyewitness, to say that this is what you saw, to pretty much protect him from going to jail. Okay? Facing jail time. Page of Wands, I need to see what I can gauge about this message, this communication. I have official person. So official person could be a police officer, someone who's in a position of authority. So the communication would be for her to come in, because she did say that she called the police, right? So it would be for her to come in as a so-called eyewitness to slander and to lie, to bring forward this false report, but to also make it seem like she was being a good humanitarian by calling the police, right? Let me see. I have the card of child. Something about children, because that came out from my deck too. I'm wondering if her father is a police officer. Because when I pulled cards for the European woman before, I did get father that came out. I'm wondering if he had a direct tie to this woman, potentially romantically. He reached out to her after the van flipped, made the phone call, told her this is what's up, told her to come in, bring forth this false report, call the police, but make sure that she connected with one who was a part of the cult as well, which would be this so-called police officer here. Oh my goodness. Because remember, we have the card of in-laws. So the in-law could be the father. They may not be legally married to each other. But remember, now that I go back, I did do a reading for the guy that was driving the van. No, I did a reading for the guy that was driving the truck. There's a connection here somehow. She has a direct connection. A European woman has a direct connection to the police. It could be relatives. It could be friends. There's a close connection here. And I have the card of thief. Okay. Now, thief has come out multiple times throughout the different readings that I've done as well. They knew that there was going to be some foul play, and they needed to use her as a distraction, because you see how this woman is being the distraction in order to pickpocket this man. So she came in as the perfect distraction to lure people's eyes away from the truth, to get their eyes away from the driver directly, and to put it on, let me see. So yeah, there was communication between him and the European woman. I have here family room, okay? So I feel like he's close to her in some way. And then I have high honor. High honor. Oh my goodness. I think they did mention that he was in the service before. Did they not mention that this guy Leethal was in the service before? Correct me if I'm wrong, or verify if I'm right, y'all. Wasn't Leethal the driver in the service in the past? So it's almost like they gave him some form of high honor, like he could get away with doing certain things, being paid under the table, because he's a trained serial K. He's been trained to do this. Now it makes more sense. He's been trained to do this, and he's been doing it for a very long time. Now, granted, he's been in and out of jail, but apparently hasn't served a significant amount of time, or when he served a significant amount of time, they came in and made an offer, made a deal to where he could take on this position as a serial K and to do their bidding. So now he's directly connected. He's been trained. He is considered an official person. You see how this man has all of these badges here? he's been given a certain amount of ranking, or he's directly connected to someone who has a high ranking in this cult that they're connected to. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So high honor. Matter of fact, let me clarify official person. So there was communication with this woman where they directly linked up with the official person. Official person. This says contracts. So he made a deal. He signed on a dotted line. He signed in blood. Oh, yeah. He has a contract with this official person. There's certain things that he's been called to fulfill, whether he wants to do it or not. But I feel like his ego, he's going to do it because he's all about peacocking anyway. He has a point to prove. I have out of tricks. They didn't know what else they could do. I feel like this right here was, again, plan C, like I said in my previous message. Let me see. High honor. So they hold him with high regard because he was in the service. I have inheritance. Wow. And then I have karmic family. He is Angie's karmic family. It's almost like they're telling him that he would be the one that is given the inheritance because he was in the service, but he's also honoring the contract to commit thievery and as a serial K. The devil card shows the type of energy that he operates from. Let's clarify the devil. Look at that. The devil is clarified by addictions. That makes all the sense in the world. Okay, because the devil does deal with addictions. So this guy, Leethal, has addictions. So for him, he's willing to do anything to be able to maintain his addictions. He needs to be able to support his addictions first and foremost before anything. So I'm almost positive, allegedly, that he was also either high or intoxicated when he was driving that van. Not that that caused him to do something outside of what he was already going to do, but I'm sure that it enhanced his boldness to carry it out. But this is not new to him. He gets paid under the table to do these things. Okay? I want to see a little bit more about this contract. Theft. Look at this, y'all. The message can't get no more clear. Thief and theft is here. The contract was for him to steal from Angie. They needed the third party, the European woman, to come in to be the perfect distraction. Okay? What was he supposed to steal? Her inheritance. It's a very clear message. You know, a blind sleeple sheeple can see right through this. This is to steal her inheritance. He's always been her karmic family. I don't know why Angie trusted him. Sometimes, you know, and that's why I say, you know, for the chosen in our asleep state, we keep some of the worst, vile, most vicious people around because we love them and we want to just assume that they have the ability to change because we changed, right? But some people are just meant to remain karmic and they will never change. Matter of fact, they will get worse. See that he was a false male friend. The reason why Angie trusted him is because she really thought he was a friend, but he was a false male friend that slandered her name quite often. Okay? She looked at him as being more than a cousin. She saw him as her friend. He sold her soul. He sold her soul. That was his whole objective. He tried. It says they tried to sell your soul. So Angie, apparently, look at that, which fell into my lap. It says hundreds of thousands of dollars and working with the Illuminati. So apparently what they paid him under the table was hundreds of thousands. For him, that's enough. You know, for somebody that's on crack is whack. Remember that, y'all. But for somebody that's, I don't know if he's smoking crack. I don't know what he's messing with. But anything will do for an addict. Okay? So he sold his soul for hundreds of thousands of dollars working with the Illuminati. He's in a contract. He's in a cult with the Illuminati. I'm cutting the deck at sacrifice yet again. So let me see. We have some of the passengers, at least two of them, I believe, one of the males and the female, that have openly spoken out, mentioning the erratic driving of Leethal. Now, in the previous messages, I did get a split in energy as far as the passengers. It seemed like there was a possibility that maybe one or two was on Angie's team, right? And was trying to protect her. But I'm feeling like there's more who may have been involved and in on this whole thing. So maybe the ones that's speaking out now, you could only hope that they had the right intentions. Let me just see, why are they speaking out? Let's see what we can get for that. Why are they speaking out now? I'll look at Sharita's energy specifically. Why is she speaking out right now? Then I'm going to close out so that I can get this uploaded. But yeah, Leethal is a lethal weapon. He's been doing this for a while now. He's in a contract with the Illuminati to fulfill assignments of taking people's lives. He got paid under the table to do this. Potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he is also an addict. There's a lot coming out about imprisonment. So either he could be going to prison, or he did this to avoid prison. This was a part of the contract. So the Seven of Cups is here. Why is Sharita speaking out? Because she really wanted to try to unsee this. You see how this person's eyes, they're blinded here? I feel like she saw a lot of things that she turned a blind eye to. And it could be weighing heavily on her conscience now. See how my throat chakra almost closed? She didn't even want to say anything. There was a lot of times where she held her voice. She held back. She suppressed what she really wanted to say. Well before this happened. The Knight of Wands is in a reverse. So that's being reckless. Why is Sharita speaking out now? The Ten of Cups is in a reverse. Okay. Bottom of the deck is Justice. So she wants justice. This will be legal proceedings, right? I don't know if Sharita is related in any way, but it's showing that some sort of family dynamic has been broken down. Okay. It's no longer there. This is the King of, what is this? The Magician. Okay. So she's trying to manifest something here. The Five of Swords. It's almost like she wanted to get back at this guy, Leethal, for a long time now. For a long time. She hasn't liked him for a long time. And this is now her opportunity to step up after turning a blind eye and keeping, suppressing what really needed to be said. She is now seeing this as an opportunity to get back at him. Matter of fact, a lot of them are up against one another. Okay, a lot of them are fighting against one another. A couple of them are running away. They're trying not to be seen. They don't want anybody to know who they are. There's at least 3 of them, though, who are fighting amongst each other. Why is Sharita speaking out against Leethal now? This says, they are afraid of you. Bottom of the deck says liar. So she might fear him. Sharita might fear Leethal. So because they know certain things, right? This is the thing. You got a car full of, van full of 9 people. One who was Angie Stone, right? So she can no longer speak out about what took place in that van. So you have 8 other people who were eyewitnesses. They know some things. Sharita has kept her mouth shut about a lot of the foul play that Leethal was doing against Angie for a long time. Long, long time. This opportunity gives her a way to bring forth truth and to establish some sort of justice, right? However, another reason why she's doing this is because she's afraid of him. Why is she afraid of him? Spell broken. Why is she afraid of him? So she sees him very clearly because we do have the magician here. Okay? Spell broken. So remember, the dark magic card came out earlier as far as Lethal's energy towards Angie. So they might even know of him to be a warlock, right? They might have some clarity about his spiritual practices where they know that he does particular rituals on the dark side of things, okay, in a way where it's meant to harm others. So some sort of spell has been broken to where now she's able to openly communicate. Okay, let me see. That was too many cards. I want to see, why is Sharita speaking out against Leethal now? I have caught. Look, facing jail time is at the bottom of the deck. I'm trying to tell you, she's hoping, look, the truth is right behind that. She's hoping that the truth will come out and that he will get caught, and she's hoping that he will go to jail. They're afraid of him. Quite a few of them are afraid of this man, okay? But she's hoping that this will somehow get him off the streets. It's a lot more behind this, y'all. Because if he goes to jail for reckless driving, that's only a temporary fix. I feel like there could be some more things that comes to the forefront, but it's going to take some time. People are going to need to feel safe. They're going to need to feel like Leethal and others that he could have been working with are off the streets.
It's not funny.
I have the card of Father. Out of tricks. Judgment. Okay. I want to see something real quick about the Father because that keeps coming out. Main female. Look at this, y'all. Imprisonment. This is a totally different deck. Okay? Totally different deck. Somebody going to jail. She wants him to go to jail because of what happened to Angie. She would be the main female involved in this situation. The Father, I don't know if this is pointing to a father figure that was around Angie. Like we already kept seeing D'Angelo's energy. I don't know who the father. Ooh, no, I ain't about to go there. Nope. I'm not about to say that one, y'all. Nope. So with that being said, that's crazy. With that being said, I'm going to close out here. Okay. Sudden wealth is what I just pulled. I'll be back. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this. Correct me wherever I'm wrong. Verify and clarify wherever I'm right so that I know how to proceed forward as information continues to come forward on behalf of Angie Stone. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll talk to y'all next time.